Our next caller, Leon, he has a question about Donald Trump. Leon, you're on the line with Senator Lee.
Thank you. Senator Lee, I've been really concerned about Trump. He was leading us a long ways, and with Lindsey Graham and Bush out there belly aching, they're so far down the line that they shouldn't even be on the lit ticket any longer. I want to see Trump in, and I'll vote for him. All my friends here in Laverco will vote for him, and also in Sandy, Utah. That's my comment, Senator.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your concern, and there are a lot of others throughout the state of Utah who share your concern. Let me tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who can be our next president, who's a smart fighter. You know, you don't want a wimp as your president. You want someone who's a fighter. You don't want someone who's dumb as your president. You want someone who's smart. Putting that combination together, where you get a smart fighter, is the sweet spot. That's what we're looking for. I'm also looking for someone who's principled, who will share the principles that are important to so many Americans, the principles that will be so important to unraveling the expansion of the federal government that has occurred in recent decades and even more in recent years. Someone who shares the belief that the Constitution was written by wise men, and that to the extent we followed it, the Constitution has fostered the development of the greatest civilization the world has ever known. I'm also looking for someone who will advance a positive agenda, someone who will fight for the poor and middle class and explain the connection between applying good principles of government, constitutionally limited government, and the fact that we need to do those things specifically because they help the poor and the middle class. Someone who's also willing to fight against the corrupting influence of cronyism in government, to make sure that the government works for the people and not the other way around, to make sure that the government works for common everyday citizens rather than just millionaires and billionaires who happen to have the best connections to Washington, D.C. This is an important election, perhaps the most important of our lifetimes. It's essential that each of us remains willing to engage in a meaningful dialogue with the American people. I'm confident that as we do so, we'll find the right person to serve as our next president.